In this video, I want to share my strategy with Prismatic Evolutions and how I just plan to invest into this set, when I plan on selling, how much I plan on selling, and just give my thoughts about this set because I am, heavily invested into this set. This is the set that I've invested into the most. Like, I'm holding the most of this set by far of anything else. I wanted to share, I guess, my strategy with this set because I know a lot of people out there are thinking that maybe I'm crazy for buying Prismatic Evolutions, over MSRP because everyone says, if you don't buy MSRP, it's risky and all these sorts of things. Now, I understand where people get this idea that it's risky and, it's going to get printed in the ground. Like, okay, like I can understand if you're going to go back to Sword and Shield and compare it, sure. But I'm still on the side where they're not going to print this into the absolute ground where prices crash back to MSRP and below. I don't think that's going to happen. However, will they print this in the future? Sure. And maybe 2 years in the future, they print a ton of it, demand is a little bit lower, and prices go down. I can believe that. So I wanted to share what my plan is, why I have, invested so heavily, and what I plan to do with this set. Because believe it or not, everything I bought is not for the long term. Okay, I think people have this idea where just everything I'm buying or everything just people buy, you have to hold for 5 to 10 years. That's not my strategy. Especially in markets like these, I've adjusted and I'm not only in this long term mindset. You can ride waves in this market and do extremely well, take advantage of the market. And when the market cools down, you'll have that cash on hand that you made from all those gains made from some of these sets that have risen a lot in these markets, and use that when the market downturns. So that's sort of my strategy here, and why I've invested in Prismatic Evolution so heavily is because I truly believe, even at these inflated prices, it's going to go even higher. And, you know, I think people are scared because it's so high already. But I've always said, you have to look at the data. You can't just blankly look at the prices and automatically come to the conclusion, oh, it's double MSRP. It's not going to go higher. It's too expensive. It's going to crash. Like, you got to look at what's going on with this set, because this set, no matter how much they print of it, right, it's going to be a generational set. Look at Crown Zenith. Obviously there could be a debate. Some people may say Crown Zenith is better, whatever. But Crown Zenith got printed in the ground. Ploys are easy too, and that still is pretty expensive. I mean, it's not that old. It's a little bit over 2 years old now, and look how it's doing. So regardless of how much they print of Prismatic Evolutions, it's going to do good long term. Okay, but I guess since my cost basis is higher than probably what I would want it to be, at least for the long term, I'm not holding everything. Okay, so I guess I just want to go over some of the products that I have here and explain kind of what my thoughts are, at what price points I plan on maybe selling some off, and those sorts of things. Because I invested a lot more than I probably should be. Some people would say, but I don't plan to hold this all long term. So first here, normal Elite Trainer boxes. Now, it's a little bit weird with Elite Trainer boxes because it seems like they don't really reprint these, at least in recent times. Like, I remember back then, Shining Fates, Crown Zenith, those got printed a lot. But in recent history, Elite Trainer boxes haven't gotten printed like crazy. Like 151 Elite Trainer boxes, those didn't really get reprinted. And, I don't think Paldean Fates either got reprinted either. It's a little bit strange now. So, normally Trainer boxes, I would say if you compare to, Sword and Shield, this would be a product that could get reprinted like pretty heavily because we've seen that. But so far in Scarlet and Violet, it really hasn't. So for me, Elite Trainer boxes, I mean, I have a okay amount. It's not anything crazy. I would say I'm going to start offloading some, because I'm not offloading any, just a quick overview. I'm not, offloading any of these right now, okay? Like, all these I'm still holding. I think they're going to go higher. I would say for Prismatic Evolutions, I have some sealed cases. I have some, loose boxes. I'll probably start offloading some, like maybe a small amount, maybe like 10%, 20%. When this gets closer to 200, I'd probably start offloading some. Because, if we don't get a reprint of these, because we haven't really of 151, these could go pretty crazy, because 151 Elite Trainer boxes now are $200. So when these get closer to 200, and obviously it depends on the time frames, like if these go to, 180, 190, like a month from now, I might still hold on to them. It just depends on how long it takes for these to go up, because, if it's only a month and this goes to, let's say theoretically, to like 180 in a month, I don't think there's gonna like it's possible maybe we'll see a reprint, but I think it'd be still too short of a time for there to be a Prismatic like big reprint. Because Surging Sparks, for example, we still haven't seen the reprint yet, but it's now March. The set came out in November, right? So it's like 5 months. So if this goes up to 180 in a month from now, that'd be like 2 months after the set was officially released. I don't think they're gonna reprint it then, right? So then therefore I'm not gonna sell it. So it all depends on timeframes too. But if this, let's say, it takes a few months to go to around that price, maybe like 2 months to go to 180, I might sell some off because then maybe there is going to be that chance. But recently, we've also been seeing a lot of reprints have been just booster bundles. So it's a little bit hard, I guess with Elite Trainer boxes because we're in a weird spot where Elite Trainer boxes, especially, I've heard from Journey Together, some of these people with distribution, they've been saying that they didn't get a lot of Elite Trainer boxes. It's very strange. So it's very possible these don't get reprinted. I don't know. But yeah, that's similar to my thoughts about Prismatic Evolutions ETBs. I don't have an extreme amount. This is definitely not the one I'm most heavily invested into, but I have a decent amount of them. So I would sell some of the loose ones if they hit around that price, around like maybe closer to 200. I'd probably sell some off. Next here, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, this is my most heavily invested product because the deals I was able to get for these was pretty great, and I'm already able to sell these at a profit. So I have a lot of these, and I feel like this is a product especially that probably won't get reprinted because it's a whole binder, and we've seen that with 151. Like binder collections never really showed up when they got restocked, reprinted, whatever. At like retail stores, the binders really never showed up. I think similar things gonna happen with these because you gotta understand it's a whole binder they're gonna have to make or order or wherever they get their binders from to make this singular product. And retail, these are $30. So I feel like for them, these probably don't make as much money because they probably have to make a whole binder, shipping costs, and all those things. So I feel a little bit safer holding these, but I have so much to the point where like, I'm fine offloading some. Like, I'll give you guys a little hint. I'm in the hundreds of these. So, in the low hundreds, not like high hundreds, but I'm in the low hundreds having these binder collections. So, I'm fine offloading some, especially I have some damaged ones that I'm probably gonna sell first or whatever, just for myself into this market, the strength, and I'll probably be fine selling those. But yeah, I'll probably offload some of these, but I do think these won't get really reprinted. That's just my theory, just from history, because I saw with 151 how crazy they went. I think similar is gonna happen with these. So yeah, I don't plan on selling these anytime soon. For the price point, I would say where I'd probably be selling some. I'd say when they go a little bit over 100, because if I look at the supply here, it's gonna be pretty quick when they hit 100. Like I'll just show you here. So let's just scroll down. The sales volume for these is around like 10 to 20 a day. If you scroll through here, you can see on this page, I'm not gonna count all these, but there's maybe like 10 to 15. Next page, what is there? Maybe like 30. So let's just say 50. Let's just round it up. Here, the next page, you can see it goes to 85. There's probably another 20. So probably around 70. Next page it goes to 95. There's not much here, probably like 20. It's around like, what are we at now, like 79? I don't even know, but it goes to 100. You can see here it goes to 100 pretty quickly. You give it a month, I'm pretty sure it'll be at 100. So same thing, it's all about time frames and stuff with these things. But at certain price points, especially for some that have a lot of like binder collections, I'm okay with selling some off, and when they get to around the $100 mark, my profit margin will be pretty good, to where I'll be fine selling some off. But I definitely want to keep a pretty good position in these, I guess, because I really don't think these are going to get reprinted. That's just my guessing. I could be totally wrong, but it's a whole binder. That's just my, I guess, logical thinking, I guess, with Pokemon. Why would they reprint this product when they could reprint just bundles? And it seems like they've been just printing bundles for all these different products. Surging Sparks, what else has gotten printed? Like 151, it's been bundled. It's been those 6-pack booster bundles. So I think this is a very good product. Not really usually a big fan of collection boxes, but this is a specialty set, and it has a binder with Eevee on it. So yeah, that's my thought on these. But maybe around 100, when it hits around 100, I'll probably sell, I don't know, 10-20% because I have a lot of these. But yeah, I really like this product. Next here, surprise boxes. Now I have an okay amount of these. It's nothing like the binders that I have, but I have a decent amount. these surprise boxes I think are pretty good. I don't know if they're going to reprint something like this because I don't know if they want to reprint the promos, or I don't know. It's possible they could reprint this, to be honest. But yeah, these ones I see them also going up relatively soon here. These at one point were $100. Now when you look at supply of these sell around like how many? 20 around 20 to 30 a day. If you look at supply before it hits 100, it's not a ton. Like it's somewhat similar to the binders, maybe a little bit. They have a little bit more supply, but the sales volume is a bit higher with these. So here I hit 100 on the 6th page. So I don't know how much supply that is, but it's the same thing. I really feel like for like binders, surprise boxes, in a month from now they'll both be 100. Elite trainer boxes in a month from now, if I had to take a guess, I think they're probably going to be in a month they're at 140. I'd probably guess they're going to be maybe around 160. So some of the stuff in the time frames I can kind of gauge based on sales volume and supply. So these ones I don't have many of, and I think long term this is going to be a very good product, especially with how stamp promos are now. So yeah, I'd probably not sell many of these, to be honest. Maybe like 20. I don't have that much of these, but yeah, I think these are gonna hit 100 too, as well with the binders. But it's gonna take maybe a little longer. Poster collections. Now these, I don't really like. This one definitely is a product that would get reprinted. I don't know. They printed. I feel like a ton of these with 151. So I just long term these don't do that well. The 151 posters, for example, are basically as expensive as these right now. So that's just a sign of something. These are not the most sought after things. So this would probably be the product I'd honestly be okay selling all of, because I'd rather just hold on to, for example, binder collections and just forego, having these, because poster collections, they just don't perform that well long term. And I'd rather have binders because I feel like that's a better product. So I'd honestly, at some point in this market, I would probably sell all of these, to be honest. And, like, I'd probably just sell all these posters. I don't really care to have them long term. Yeah, so that's my thoughts on these. Maybe they're already at 40. I'll probably sell them when they get to maybe close to 50. I'll probably offload some, because at that point, I mean, price per pack would be around what, like $16, around $16, $17, because these don't really hold that much for premium, the promos and stuff. So I think when it gets to that point, I'll probably offload most of them. Maybe I'll offload half and whatever. But yeah, this product definitely is one that I would be scared of, like sort of with reprints, because I've seen it with 151. But I don't have that much of these, but I have an okay amount. Lastly here, I barely have any of these. It doesn't really matter. I have like a couple. I'm gonna lie, I just have a couple of cases. I don't have many of these because I wasn't able to get them for a good price. So, I'd probably sell. It's pretty similar to posters. Probably when they hit around 50, close to there, I'll probably sell them. I'm fine selling some of these products off in full, because I don't really care. Like, I know some of these, they're not going to perform as well as the other ones. So for example, the tech stickers, I feel like it's going to be similar to the posters with performance. They both have 3 packs promos, and they're not the greatest products. So I'd probably offload these and just sell them all as well when they hit around that price point, and just keep the binders. Like, the best products in my opinion for this set, like I've talked about, obviously the Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes, I still have mine. I only have a couple of those ones. I don't know when I'll sell them, but the best products in my opinion, other than the Pokemon Center Elite Trainer box, binder collections, normal Elite Trainer boxes, and surprise boxes. Those are the best. I know the booster bundles will be coming out here in the near future, and there's the premium collection box, but those are all later. Booster bundles tend to get reprinted. That's all I'm going to say. But yeah, so far from what the products that are out currently, those are the best products. Well, normally trainer boxes, surprise boxes, and binders. Those are my top products. So Prismatic Evolutions has recently gone back up to 8,000. At one point it was like 7,800. So I think at this point in the set, I think the prices are pretty stabilized, because usually the first month prices can really fluctuate, but these prices have been pretty strong. So I don't think we're going to see much fluctuation in the next few months, because, for example, Surging Sparks, it stabilized around a month after it was released. Like, it went down a little bit, but it's been pretty stable. I think Prismatic at this time is going to be pretty stable as well. So, unless the prices of these cards absolutely crash, I still see these products going up, which is why I'm not selling any of these, because it just doesn't make any sense to sell right now. But when it hits, the price points I mentioned, I will offload some to get some cash back. Get some of my profits. And obviously at this point, there's really nothing that crazy to buy. Like, you can buy Sword and Shield stuff, but I already bought those back then, so there's really not much to buy. And that's another thing. It's like, if you're gonna sell, there has to be a good reason. You have to either sell because you think a huge reprint is coming, which I don't believe is going to happen, or you're going to sell to, take those profits and buy something else. But in this market, what are you going to buy? There's not much, and I'd rather hold on to Prismatic. So those are my thoughts. Prismatic evolutions and how I plan to invest and sell and all those things. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.